Great Kapok Tree. Two men walked in the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sound of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now all was quiet. The creatures watched the two men and wondered why they had come. The larger man stopped and pointed to a great kapok tree. Then he left. The smaller man took the axe and carried and struck the tree. Whack, whack, whack. The sound of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop. The man wiped off the sweat that ran down his face. Whack, chop, whack, chop. Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the tree. Before he knew it, the heat and hump of the forest had lulled him to sleep. A boa constrictor who lived in the kapok tree, he slithered down its trunk to where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash in the axe he made in the tree. The huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear. Senor, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is my home, where generations of my ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down. A bee buzzed in the sleeping man's ear. Senor, my hive is in the kapok tree, and I fly from tree to tree and flower to flower, collecting pollen. In this way, I pollinate the trees and flowers throughout the rainforest. You see, all living things depend on one another. A troop of monkeys scampered down from the canopy of the kapok tree. They chattered to the sleeping man. Senor, we have seen the ways of men. You chop down one tree, then come back for another and another. The roots of these trees will wither and die. There will be nothing left to hold the earth in place. When heavy rain comes, the soil will be washed away, and this forest will become a desert. A toucan, a macaw, and a cook of the rock flew down from the canopy. Senor, squawked the toucan, you must not cut down this tree. We have flown from over the rainforest and seen what happens once you begin to chop down trees. Many people settle on the land. They set fires to clear the underbrush. Soon the forest disappears, and once there was life and beauty, only black and smoldering ruins remain. A bright and small tree frog crawled along the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, he piped in the man's ears. Senor, a ruined rainforest means you ruined lives, many ruined lives. You will leave many of us homeless if you chop down this great kapok tree. A jaguar had been sleeping alone in the branch of the tree. Because his spotted coat blended in the dappled light of the shadows, no one had noticed him. Now he looked down and padded silently over to the man. He growled in his ear, Senor, the kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will I find my dinner? There. 4 tree porcupines swung down from the branches and whispered to the man, Senor, do you know what we animals and humans need to live? Oxygen. And Senor, do you know what trees produce? Oxygen. If you cut down the tree, you will destroy that which gives us all life. Several anteaters climbed down the kapok tree with their young clinging to their backs. The unstripped anteater said to the sleeping man, Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future, and surely you know what happens. Tomorrow depends upon what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees. A 3-toed sloth had begun climbing down from the canopy when the men first appeared. Only now did she reach the ground. Plodding over even so slowly to the sleeping man, she spoke in her deep, lazy voice. Senor, how much beauty is worth Can you live without it? If you destroy the beautiful rainforest, on what would your eyes feast on? A child from the Unoma tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt to root the sleeping man. He murmured in his ear, "Señor, when you awake, please look upon us with your new eyes." The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest child, and all around him, staring, the creature depended upon the Kapok tree. What wondrous and rare these animals were. The man looked about and saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of bright light glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the great Kapok tree. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers. He felt the steamy mist rising from the forest floor, but he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. The man stood up, picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the tree. Suddenly he stopped. He turned and looked at the animals and the child. He hesitated. Then he dropped his axe out in the rainforest and walked out of the rainforest. The end. Thank you for listening. Subscribe so you don't miss a story. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. You can find this book in the link below.